this is my 3rd year with this program. This program is incredible, amazing. I don't know where I've ever gotten so much support and so much help whenever I've had a need. And not just with math and science, I mean school and situations in school. And while I have a successful school, it's always a challenge. It's not a secret, everyone knows, 1/3, 33% of my teachers, core teachers, are coaches. So they're not available for tutoring in the morning or in the afternoon. They're not available for any staff meetings. They're not available to be on duty. They're not available for sponsorship for any of our student programs or activities. 30% of my teachers. And it's just been a huge challenge. And any time that I need to, and I have a need right now for an English teacher coach, and there are tons of coaches, and if you're a coach, I apologize, but there are tons of coaches. So if you advertise for a coach, you're gonna have a line out the door. So what we get is a bunch of coaches who say, well, I'll try to teach science, or I'll try to teach English, or whatever. There are very, very few science teachers who want to be coaches, or English teachers who want to be coaches, or math teachers who want to be coaches, very few. And in fact, I just had that experience because this year I also had to hire a science teacher, and I had a bunch of coaches out the door. They didn't even know the elements, the parts of an atom, for crying out loud, and want to teach science. The one good science person that I had who applied, and God, it was good. And I wanted to hire him. And the AD said, oh no, I don't like him because he can't coach it. I've got to have someone who knows basketball, and that's what we have to have. And in Divine, sports is king. And it trumps education every time. And I fought it and have been fighting it for 3 years. And making progress, to be honest with you, making progress. It's not necessarily the superintendent's fault. They would let her go. If the community had to vote, if we had a choice, okay, we've got to cut funds, and either we need to let math go or we're going to let go of football. 90% are going to vote to let go of math.
It's all free.
Well, they'll get it somewhere else, but football, we've got to have that. And I'm not against sports. I mean, it's a wonderful, please don't hear me saying that. Sports is great, and it's huge because it's the very impetus, it's the thing that keeps some kids in school and willing to be there and passing and all those kind of things, and I love that. But for crying out loud, let's have my elected teachers be the ones who are coaches. But let's have the coaches who are coaching at high school be at high school, not at middle school. There are a bunch of things we can do, in my opinion, that could help us out. But they've always been there. I can call, and they've got thoughts and ideas and support, and plus it's helped my math and science program, and it's a challenge. Science, an example. One of my science teachers who's in the program is a bus driver. So he's not available before or after school either. He is available during school, but he can't be doing any duties, and he can't be doing any tutorials, he can't be doing any staff meetings. I mean, he's sort of like one of the coaches. And so I have four, you can count, 4 science teachers. 2 of them are coaches, and 1 of them is a bus driver. So that leaves me with 1 science teacher available before school and after school when it comes to the meetings. 1. And he's my department head. I'm just, so it's frustrating. I can't tell you how frustrating it is. And I don't care how hard you work, and we do incredible, amazing things. And the fact that we're doing as well as we are, I'm going to mix it up with a big part of that because of the support and help that we get. But they make a huge difference. And I begged and pleaded to continue in this program because there's so much that we get from it, and I really appreciate it. So that's my story.
Mine's pretty simple. My name's Ana Buenteo, and I'm principal at Navarro Elementary in Lockhart ISD, and this is my 30th year in education. Run the gamut of being principal at Catholic schools, and I think I've been in, I've been in Aldine, I've been in Austin, I've been in Corpus Christi, I've been in San Antonio. Yeah, so I've been, the only place I guess major city would be the Valley in Dallas, so.
Which you haven't done yet.
Yes, I haven't done yet, so.
I'm Deanna Wattis. I also work in Lockhart ISD at Clear Fork Elementary. This is our first year in the program, so just kind of getting used to everybody and everything we're doing, and I've enjoyed so far. So.
And I'm Rob Whitworth. I'm principal at Saints Peter and Paul Catholic School in New Braunfels, and so just finished my 4th year there. I need to do some math, but I think about 20 years in education and have bounced around as well. So Dallas, I did make it to Dallas for 2 years, and then I started my administrative career in a little public school called in Ganado, Texas. So your experience is, I completely relate. I was the elementary principal, which was on one wing, and then the second wing was a 7 to 12 campus. The superintendent was at the end of the hall, and it was completely that.
Those are fun, aren't they?
And the high school principal, because of all the athletics and everything else, I was textbook coordinator, dyslexia coordinator, federal programs coordinator, all those things that related to education but didn't relate to athletics. So that I can completely relate to some of your struggles and frustrations. That was that. But and so no, this is our first time within the program, and I'm really excited. I'm excited that our teachers are on board, and that the teachers that we have on board, Mrs. Duncan and Mrs. Arnold. And Mrs. Arnold has had the great fortune of serving as a curriculum director at NBISD for about 6 years before she came here. So she's a wonderful resource for our school, and so I'm excited to be here and to learn more about science education and education in general. I was looking at the Professional Learning Communities book, and I have one of the young administrators at school that I'm trying to cultivate is really on fire about professional learning communities. So I'm excited that this will be another segue into her using that, and that'll be awesome.
If I can interject, you're welcome to bring for example, your AP
Okay.
and other people in.
Okay.
I have a limit in terms of who I can pay and how much I can pay.
Right.
Which reminds me, don't forget you need to tell Monica when you're on contract or not on contract this summer, so we know how much we can pay you.
Okay. All right.
That's state money, so you can get paid all the time.
Yeah, okay. So, well, no, and really we appreciate the invitation, and our invitation came through a parent who works with Dr. West here at Texas State, so we're excited, and her husband teaches religion at school for us. So.
And is also a friend.
Yes.
My name's Abraham Dominguez. I'm the assistant principal at George Irvin Academy. This is my 4th year officially, but really 5 years. And my wife was in this program, and both of us, when we go to events, we always look through each other's stuff, okay? And I had seen her stuff, and then I saw Ben Johnson's name, and I called Ben. I said, Ben, how come you didn't include us? Well, he did include us, but the bureaucracy. But right there and then, when I just looked at what they were getting, it was evident that it was really great. It really is great. Unfortunately, I'm no longer over these grade levels, so the administrator that we have, for some reason, has not bought into it. And I'm sorry to say is that this year we don't have anyone participating. And but you look at this, let me tell you, Dr. West, we have this administrator, and all of a sudden it's new to her, like, oh, we have new math teaks. And every time I leave here, I leave with things that are usually Dr. West will talk about ahead of the time. The new teaks, they said, hey, start playing with it. We would implement it now, okay? And those are things that you go back and you really take, okay? So I was learning a lot. And like yesterday, that writing, I thought that was so great. So that in itself, if I can say, if I can just use that, it's worth it. It's worth it.
By the way, most of that lesson is now up on the Mix It Up YouTube website. I got the last like 42 minutes of the lesson. It took 3 hours to upload, but it's on there. So if you wanna go back and revisit any part of that, it's on there.
Action.
And
What's
while
she
you're
gonna
there,
do
why
for
don't you
PowerPoint?
introduce yourself?
The PowerPoints, maybe this would be a good time for you to talk about tracks.